against Jalen Ramsey, and they decided to travel Jalen. That first game in week 1, they had A.J. Bouye on DeAndre Hopkins a lot, and defensive coordinator Todd Wash feels more comfortable with Jalen Ramsey traveling today.
Yates to throw from the pocket, and incomplete. He got knocked down. One way or another. Sideline throw and the coverage. Ramsey with a blanket on Hopkins.
This is going to be a great matchup to watch. Again, they've got Jalen Ramsey trailing DeAndre Hopkins all day. And there was a lot of discussion this week. They talked to Coach Marone, and he wouldn't go out and say it. He's like, you know what, I put him 1 and 2 with another guy out there in the NFL that's playing. Obviously, that's Antonio Brown up in Pittsburgh. You watch both of these guys. I think because DeAndre Hopkins has had so many different quarterbacks this year, I'm going to give the nod to him because he's fantastic on the sideline. You can throw him a quick screen. He can take it to the house. He's fantastic on a contested catch. I think he's playing the best right now in the...
Yates. Hopkins, his hands all over that. That's his first catch of the game, and it should be enough. We'll see the spot, but with 2 Jags around him.
And this is just great competition on the outside. It's good coverage by Jalen Ramsey, and it's a great catch by DeAndre Hopkins. And one thing that everybody talks about is his strength in his hands, the ability to possess the ball immediately when it arrives. There's no double catches. There's no 2 touches. Once it hits his hands, he establishes control immediately.
Leads the NFL in touchdowns with 11. He's second in yards and second in catches. That's again his first catch, his 89th catch of this season. Hopkins has the extremely, they all have gloves here, but an extremely large palm, which he pointed out, which helps him kind of swallow the ball with his fingers, but he said he does drills to make sure that the fingers are strong enough. She said those hands to grasp the football. And Hopkins, Texans try to get on the board here in the first half. Low throw incomplete for Hopkins. Ramsey and Hopkins.
This is going to be a fun one to watch over the next couple of years, and you kind of a little slow start over that. That's rare. Everybody, take a look at this. If it touches his hands, it's usually complete. So,
and Ramsey said, you know, he always takes the top receiver. And he talks a lot. He says no elite corner plays without trash talking. That's part of his game, part of what he thinks the great ones do. But Blake Bortles said the offense clicked so well for Hopkins. And is that another takeaway? Barry Church has it. And Jacksonville with the interception.
Here's a little bit of a changeup for you. You can't just go with Jalen Ramsey all the time. So now you got a little bit of coverage. You're going to put A.J. Bouye down here. Here's Barry Church walked up into the front. So he's going to drop out to play the deep half. You're going to try to get that outside breaking route. He reads the quarterback's eyes, overthrown a little bit, and there for the interception.
And that's 31 takeaways, adding to their league lead, Darryl, and they're the only team in. Yates airing it out deep, open. He has to wait for the ball, but Hopkins hauls it in. And the whistle, he's down inside the 30. Had he been led on that, Darryl, I think he might have been able to run in for a touchdown.
Again, you've got one guy that you really got to stop, so you put your best guy on him, and it's kind of a little bit of a double move. Not really, but I think that Jalen Ramsey was kind of hanging on that outside move, sitting on something, and they had a vertical route called in that situation. And Jacksonville brought pressure, and Houston did a good job of picking up, giving T.J. Yates the opportunity to stretch the field.
A gain of 40 down to the 30 of Jacksonville. Right away, tackled around the 25. Hopkins back-to-back catches, and there's Ramsey with him.
If Jalen Ramsey could just have a little bit more confidence in his ability on the field, he might be able to raise his level of play. I don't think I've ever sat with somebody that he's got great answers, he's got great responses, and he is just dripping with confidence.
When I asked him about what, since he talks trash, what's the best thing anybody said back to him, what was his response?
They couldn't talk because they didn't have any good stats. They can't say anything.
A lot of confidence. That was a good idea to have him and A.J. Bouye sit down together to talk with us. So they try and keep the Texans out of the end zone, and in the area of Hopkins just Yates to get rid of that and keep it safe. They are, you're talking about the two best corners in the game going. Look at the numbers. In fact, Bouye has not allowed a touchdown against him this year.
That's impressive. I mean, it's such a luxury. I don't really remember a team that had such a great cornerback combination that you could pair with a great front, where you don't even have to add the 5th and 6th rusher. I mean, their down linemen can get there on their own. So it's such an advantage when you can drop 7 into coverage. You can do all kinds of different things. Todd Wash is so free to create different types of schemes every week to help defend his offenses.
Hopkins for the end zone, leaps for it, and touchdown Texans. DeAndre Hopkins with a tremendous play, and the shutout gone for Jacksonville against Ramsey.
He's so disappointed in himself that he allowed that touchdown catch. It took him 10 seconds to get back up to his feet. It's going to be all the way at the top of your screen with DeAndre Hopkins, but it starts with that protection up front. It's been better here in the second half to start out. Just a good job of stacking that route, and he got on top of Jalen Ramsey, and Barry Church was late getting over to help out.
And Yates with a perfect throw. He said there was one of those last week where he just kind of told Hopkins, go into that area. I'll trust you and I'll get it there. After a slow start, Yates gets it to Hopkins. Texans get a touchdown. Jacksonville still in control of things. The matchup we said we'd be watching throughout the game, Ramsey and Hopkins. And Hopkins, not only does he lead the NFL with 12 touchdown catches, came in, he adds to it, but that's a new Texans season record, breaking his own previous mark of 11 back in 2015.
And sometimes concussion symptoms are later in coming along.
What a catch by DeAndre Hopkins. There's a flag down. I think he wants interference to go with it against Ramsey.
Number 79, offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's going to come back. Another call against Jeff Allen, even though that was a terrific effort from Hopkins.
Grab and pull a little bit, and here's that battle on the outside. And again, the possession. I mean, it's one-handed.
Miles Jack has come back out, so whatever they checked on, that he was cleared for the play that he sat out on. After the penalty now, 1st and 20. Ball gets away in his own end zone. Yates heaves it out of bounds. Hopkins had a step on the sideline, but Yates just running for safety back there.
This is nice composure by T.J. Yates. You get the bad snap through the hands. Now get back there, pick it up, maintain your composure. Yeah, just get it out of.
On 2nd and 20. Pressure coming. He's hit. Ball's floated, and almost, if it had hung in the air. Wilson in Seattle. Yates for Hopkins, who can't reach that one. And it'll be 4th down. Ramsey slow to get up.
Working from the inside part of that 2x2, trying to get the vertical element with the little hitch to the outside.
Injury. Yates incomplete. So Darryl, the number one, no team, at least in '70 in the Super Bowl era, has led the NFL in scoring defense, in sacks, and takeaways. And the Jags have a chance to be the first to do that. So how do they match up against some of these defenses that we measure recently, like the Bears of '85, the Ravens, whose teams went on to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, those are iconic defenses right there. And everybody remembers that Bears defense, the origins of the 46 and the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. Worked with Tony Siragusa for a long time at what they were able to accomplish. You know, one of the ones that always gets left off that list for me, the '91 Eagles. You know, they didn't lead in any of those categories, but were a very, very dominant defense, you know, back in 1991. And this group is about to do something that none of those defenses did during their time.
And the takeaways in that department, as that's incomplete, so they force a 3 and out, and ultimately keeping notes here. I mean.